everybody. I have a random haul today. Um, while I was at work, my client wanted to go thrift shops, so we went to two different thrift shops. I also have something I ordered from Walmart. I have some stuff from a little free library. I have a book that my coworker gave me. I just have all kinds of stuff. So let me clear my arms here and let's get down to hauling. 'Cause I've had a good day. And if you've noticed a change of scenery, it's a gorgeous day today. The sun is shining, the birds are singing. I'm sure you can probably hear them. And it's, I don't know, probably in the 70s. Oh, the thing on the corner of my computer says 68, so pretty close. Okay, so the thing I got from Walmart probably wouldn't shock anybody because I already have other things in this collection. Apparently it's partly unzipped. Don't unzip. Oh, they put a thing around the zipper so I can't up or down. That's not cool. Okay, anyway, if you've been paying attention through the last couple months, I've gotten two different teddy bears. Well, the same bear, but in different packaging. And now I have one that's in a body bag, which I think is the coolest thing. If you want more information, teddybears.com. And this is Van Bear. We have the autopsy report. And the body bag's got the chalk outline. And I didn't bring scissors out here. So we're just gonna have to have him peek out. Because he's attached to the bag too. They just don't want me to show this. There he is, there's Van Bear. His ears attached. I could probably pop that. There we go. That's just one of those little plastic tag things. There we go. There he is. Ha ha, teddy bears, I got him out. So there he is. Isn't he adorable? And he is so much bigger and he's very squishy. He's a lot bigger than the ones I've got before. The ones I got before are in little coffin shaped boxes. I still don't have the blind bag one. But the blind bag ones were like $10 a piece. And you don't know which one you're getting. The two I got were also one was I think 12 and the other 15. They're bigger than the blind bags and you knew which one you were getting, so I could get the one I wanted. And then this one I could choose which one I wanted, and he's considerably bigger. He was, I don't know, around 30, I think. But he's so cute. I'm very happy. I am very happy. He'll be my Easter gift to myself. And a couple Reese eggs. I'm set. So can I shove him back in here? I love his little claws. All right, Teddy Bear. Van Bear. Get back in your little bag. I just think that is so neat. And I like that, you can hang them up as well in the bag. Almost like a garment bag, really. And it says teddy bears on the back. And, the teddy bears in the corner. And then it says teddy bag on the side. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's put him back in this bag to keep him from getting too dirty out here. It's not even windy today. That's really nice. It has been so windy the last couple days. I had to track down my trash can because it flew over. Anyway, we went to what's it called? The Helping Hands thrift shop? Something Hands. I think it's Helping Hands. Run by Bethel Church in Tuppers Plains. And I found this really nice laptop bag. I had one similar to this. This one's a little fancier than the one I had. And when I bought it, I don't know, 15 or so years ago, it was like 25 bucks. So this was probably like the $30 to $35 one. I got it for $2. There's a few small issues, but nothing I can't take care of. Like the shoulder strap is missing. I can order one. That's not a big deal. And they're only a few bucks. Unless it's in this pouch and I didn't look in the pouch. No, it's not in the pouch. But okay, so on the front, you got a pouch at the top. You've got the little clasp. You've got a little pouch here and a couple pen holders and another pouch. And inside this pouch, you got like an ID slot, a little pocket, a couple more pen holders, a little clip. I don't know what the clip's for, but a clip. And another little pouch down inside. So, I mean, there's storage. All kinds of storage. Oh, come on. You were clipped a minute ago. Okay, there we go. And then in here, this part's the same as the one I had. There's a piece missing. And it's like a padded piece that you could put Velcro here and here and divide it. That piece is missing, but that's not a big deal. My laptop will take up the bulk of that space. This is what's really different from the one I had before. Let me turn you a little bit so I'm running out of room. It's got these 3 little pockets with Velcro. Two a little bit bigger and one a little bit smaller. It's got this little pouch that you can put like a cable or whatever in. I could probably put my little hard drive in there. And then you've got these spaces that you can put different things in. I would think like CD-ROMs, if you still can use those, which computers nowadays don't let you, but if you still had a computer that you could do CD-ROMs and things in, you could stick those in. And then this side's got like these little file slots. So I'm really happy with this. I think it's pretty cool. This one, the little zipper pull has broken off, but again, not a big deal. I can clip something else on there and have a better, well, this one's broken off too. So, I mean, I can still zip it. It's not that big a deal. But I can also clip something else on there. All the zipper pulls are broken. I didn't notice that for the big pouches. Then here on the side, I didn't show you this part. You can, if you need more space, you can unzip it and it folds out a little bit to give you a little bit more space. So pretty nice for $2. It's in real good condition. They had 2 other ones that were smaller that were only $1 a piece, and I came real close to getting them. And I thought, no, I really only need the one. I'll leave the others for somebody else. At that same, I just chipped my nail. At the same thrift shop, I found this little bag of goodies. I don't, well, maybe I will open it. I was going to say, I don't think I'm going to open it all the way, but I think perhaps to see what all is in here. It was only $1 for this whole bag of stuff. Oh, come on. They stapled it. Now it doesn't want to come open. There we go. There we go. I think I can maybe get to it now. Okay. So, oh good, they're getting zipper bags. Whew. This is full of, there's some mini glue sticks. There's some, like, for a mini glue gun, there's a A couple safety pins that you can use for crafting or whatever. There's some regular glue sticks. There's googly eyes. There's a bunch of letters and stickers that are that kind of foamy feeling stuff. What else is in here? There's some pom-poms and googly eyes. Lots of googly eyes. Here's some letters and stickers. That one looks like maybe a dog and a turtle. Uh-oh, a couple of them fell out because it's not zippered. Oops. Oops, oops. I think it was a googly eye that fell. I think it's laying right there. I can't get to it at the moment. Here's some little foam pieces. Looks like little tiny dots. Here's one that's a glittery foam piece. Looks like a Christmas sock. And another one that looks like a bell. What else is in here? Here's some alphabet stickers. This is the jackpot. I'm trying to teach my client his letters so that he can learn to read because he asked me to teach him to read. So, alphabet stickers for days. That, and they're also going to be fun for scrapbooking and all that kind of stuff. Big googly eye. What is this? Here's a little sponge brush. Am I hearing a jingle bell or is that just the googly eyes? I think it's just googly eyes. Okay, so that's what's in that baggie. And there's still more in the whole big pack. What else is in here? We have some alphabets. So if I would have known I was going to find this today, I might have been able to not buy flashcards. Could have made my own. "78 die-cut letters, 3 of each letter." And it looks like they're in teal and red. Here's some that are gold glitter. And some more of the die-cut ones like in the first pack. I could have made my own flashcards. Oh well, it's okay. He deserves a pack of flashcards. Because we're going to learn the alphabet. He was real patient, and I got him I think I showed it in my last haul, a Thomas the Tank Engine alphabet book. And we sat and we read it, and then we picked out the letters of his name and all kinds of little things. And he had a good time, and he's really excited about learning. Hey, this is a bunch of little foam circles and some pieces of sequins, big and small. Stick that baggie in another baggie. We have like a foam door hanger piece and more alphabet stickers. And a little like swirly punch, and it is full of little bits. Can I open this and clean it out? Yeah, well, maybe. This might be why it was donated. Here we go. So I can dump all these little swirly bits out, maybe. Maybe. There we go. So that's what it creates, just these little swirlies. And I have one similar to this. I don't know if it's the same size or a different size. Well, it depresses, so that's a good thing. Put those in here. So I think that was a pretty nice little bunch of goodies in that bag. And the other thing I bought at that thrift store was an alphabet book for my client. And I've already given it to him because he's the reason we went today. And I saw it and I thought, oh, he'll like it because it was a Disney one, Disney A to Z or something like that. And I thought, yeah, that'll be fun. That way we're not reading the same alphabet book every time. Little variety never hurt anybody. So then we went to the Humane Society thrift shop. And one of the things I got there was this pair of shoes, leopard print, and they're kind of stretchy a little bit. And they're just a slip on, and I thought, you know, they look cute, they're in good shape. They were like $1. Even if I don't wear them a lot, wearing them a few times is getting my money's worth out of it. And this is the step. And I got these 3 books. Snowflower and the Secret Fan, which is a phenomenal book. I have read it. I loved it. And I'm very happy to now have a copy to put on my shelf. I just need shelves to put them on. And same author, and I can't remember if I've read this one or not. I know I've read the synopsis before. The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane. This one's pretty. It's got like a gold metallic leaf design on the front. I don't know if you can see the metallic of it. But this one is about, let's see, in the remote mountain village, Leanne and her family align their lives around the seasons and the farming of tea. For the Aka people, ensconced in ritual and routine, life goes on as it has for generations, until one day a stranger appears at the village gate, marking the first entrance of the modern world into their lives. Slowly, Leanne begins to reject the customs of her people, forging a relationship with a man her parents believe to be a poor match. She has a child out of wedlock, then gives the child up for adoption, tucking a special tea cake into her blankets. Leanne's journey of self-discovery leads her to an education, a business, and a city life, but all the while she longs for her lost daughter, who is being raised in California with her own questions about her mysterious origins. Over the course of years, each searches for meaning in the study of pu'er, the tea that has shaped their family's destiny for centuries. A powerful story about 2 women separated by circumstance, culture, and distance, The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane is an unforgettable portrait of a little-known region and its people and a celebration of the bonds of family. I'm trying to remember, I think pu'er only comes from like one particular mountain. And it's really good tea. Snowflower and the Secret Fan. In 19th century China, in a remote Hunan county, a girl named Lily at the tender age of 7 is paired with a Lao Tong, or old same, in an emotional match that will last a lifetime. The Lao Tong, Snowflower, introduces herself by sending Lily a silk fan on which she has written a poem in Nushu, a unique language that Chinese women created in order to communicate in secret, away from the influence of men. As the years pass, Lily and Snowflower send messages on the fan and compose stories on handkerchiefs, reaching out of isolation to share their hopes, dreams, and accomplishments. They both endure the agony of foot binding and together reflect upon their arranged marriages, shared loneliness, and the joys of tragedy and tragedies of motherhood. The two find solace, developing a bond that keeps their spirits alive. But when a misunderstanding arises, their deep friendship suddenly threatens to tear apart. Phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. Um, I like Lisa C's writing. It's really good, and you really get into the characters because they're just really interesting. The stories, I mean, foot binding was a horrendous thing, and describes it so well that you can feel your feet, curling up. Um, this one is My Life in France by Julia Child, and it's her memoir. Julia Child single-handedly awakened America to the pleasures of good cooking with her cookbook Mastering the Art of French Cooking and her television show The French Chef. But as she reveals in this best-selling memoir, she didn't know the first thing about cooking when she landed in France. Indeed, when she first arrived in France in 1948 with her husband Paul, she spoke no French and knew nothing about the country itself. Hold on just a second. Okay. Wait. Okay. Had to yell at the Necco. He hasn't mowed the grass yet, and he's really getting on my nerves. Okay, where was I? She spoke no French and knew nothing about the country itself, but as she dove into French culture, buying food at local markets and taking classes at the Cordon Bleu, her life changed forever. Julia's unforgettable story unfolds with the spirit so key to her success as a cook and teacher and writer, brilliantly capturing one of the most endearing American personalities of the last 50 years. Okay, so one really interesting thing about Julia Child is she was in the OSS, which was basically the precursor to the CIA. And I found out recently that my grandfather was also in the OSS, and I have no way of finding out if they ever met. I think it would be really neat if they did, because I think Julia Child's a really interesting person, and I would really like to know. Really like to know. Okay, so what do I have next? Next, the Little Free Library here in Syracuse, Ohio. I found another Harlan Coben book. There hasn't been very much in there, and somebody finally took the box of magazines, and I stuck a handful of books in, and then somebody else has stuck a couple in, and I checked today, and out of like the 6 books that are in there, 4 of them are the ones I put in, and 2 of them somebody else put. But found the Harlan Coben, and I do like his books. It says from #1 New York Times bestselling author Harlan Coben comes a heart-pounding thriller about the ties we have to our past and the lies that bind us together as the ultimate internet scam unfolds. Surfing an online dating site, New York or NYPD detective Kat Donovan feels her whole world explode. Staring back at her is her ex-fiance, the man who shattered her heart and whom she hasn't seen in 18 years. Did I just pick this up in the previous haul? Did I pick up a second copy of the same book? When Kat reaches out to the man in the profile, an unspeakable conspiracy comes to light. As Kat begins to investigate, her feelings are challenged about everyone she's ever loved, even her father, whose cruel murder so long ago has never been fully explained. With lives on the line, including her own, Kat must venture deeper into the darkness than she ever has before and discover if she has the strength to survive what she finds there. I am like 99% sure I picked this up and talked about it in the previous haul. And this is a second copy. If that's the case, it will be going back to a little free library somewhere. This is The Last Mrs. Parrish, which apparently was a Reese's Book Club book. A wicked debut thriller. You'll relish every diabolical turn. Ooh, I like that idea. Amber Patterson is fed up. She's tired of being a nobody, a plain, invisible woman who blends into the background. She deserves more, a life of money and power like the one blonde-haired, blue-eyed goddess Daphne Parrish takes for granted. To everyone in the exclusive town of Bishop's Harbor, Connecticut, Daphne, a socialite and philanthropist, and her real estate mogul husband, Jackson, are a couple straight out of a fairy tale, blessed with two lovely young daughters. Amber's envy could eat her alive if she didn't have a plan. Amber uses Daphne's compassion to insinuate herself into the family's life, the first step in a meticulous scheme to undermine her. Before long, Amber is Daphne's closest confidant, traveling to Europe with the Parrish family and growing closer to Jackson. But a skeleton from Amber's past may ruin everything that she has worked toward, and if it is discovered, her well-laid plan may fall to pieces. It's by Liv Constantine, which is the pen name of sisters Lynn Constantine and Valerie Constantine. So that one sounds interesting. And then this morning, my coworker gave me this one. Please pass Grandma's leg, aka The Case of the Sacked Potatoes. She picked it up because of the sacked potatoes part. Because our client is always going, want a sack of taters? So she picked it up because of that. Not realizing that it's an autographed copy. Christine Petro-Kalavig. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. And I started looking at it. This is published by a small press in Cleveland, Ohio. And the author's note, she talks about her grandmother, very similar to the grandmother in the story, lost her leg and would show it to people and whatever. I started reading the first couple pages, and it mentions a town called Snowville, which is in Ohio. And we get stuff from the grocery from Snowville Creamery, so it's not that far from here. So basically, it's a local author, and I got an autographed copy of a book. I think this sounds like it might be fun. I mean, it's clearly a kid's mystery, and the back just has a bunch of definitions. It doesn't tell what the book is about. Well, it kind of does in a way. It says what this book is about. See nightmare definition above, only much worse. So nightmare. Your grandma brings her fake leg to show and tell. So since AKA is in the title, it says AKA is detective lingo for also known as. Lingo, cute word for word. And then sacked. 1, in a bag. 2, stolen, pillaged. 3, clever way to show dual meanings in a book title. So this is a Nose in Me mystery number 1. So the character in the book has a dog named Nose. I did get that far. It was like in the first page. So then I stopped at the Little Free Library here in Racine, and I didn't pick stuff up the last time I looked because a couple of the books had just a mass of ants in them and on them. They have cleaned it out, thank goodness. And I just realized I left my bookmark laying there. I forgot to stick it in a book. Anyway, they had little bracelets this time, and this one says read more books, and it's a light teal color. I thought it was really, really pretty. They had them a couple different sizes, so I'm glad they had one that actually fits my big old wrists. And then I found the jackpot. There was so many books that I was interested in. This is a Cat in the Stacks mystery called Careless Whiskers by Miranda James. And I checked to make sure there were no ants in it. Well, there's one ant and it's squished. But this was one of the books that was just massively covered in ants the last time I looked. Like right here is this big glob of them, and ugh, it was bad. But it's clean now. And I thought this one looked like it would be fun. I like cat mysteries. I don't think I've read any from this author. When librarian Charlie Harris's daughter is falsely accused of murder, he and his faithful feline Diesel must leap forward to crack the case. I don't know where in the series this one falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like it's book 12. But I think it's one of those series that you probably don't have to read all of them. But yeah, I thought this one looked fun. Little cozy mystery about books and cats. Then I found 3 that go together. Books 2, 3, and 4 of a series. So I'm hoping to track down book 1. There are the Shady Hollow Mysteries by Juno Black. Book 2 is Cold Clay. And there's a moose. I think the characters are all animals. Book 3 is Mirror Lake. Book 4 is Twilight Falls. Because I read the back here on book 2. It says it's autumn in Shady Hollow and residents are looking forward to harvest feasts. But then a rabbit discovers a grisly crop, the bones of a moose. Soon the owner of Joe's Mug is pulled from the coffee shop and questioned by police about the night his wife walked out of his life and Shady Hollow forever. It seemed like an open and shut case, but dogged reporter Vera Vixen doesn't believe Gentle Joe is a killer. She'll do anything to prove his innocence, even if it means digging into secrets her neighbors would rather leave in the grave. Alan Bradley, the author of the Flavia Deluxe Mysteries, says that it's like Watership Down meets Mickey Spillane. So that might be fun. I hope I can find book 1. I was sad that it wasn't in the box with the rest of them. But hey, the library book sale is coming up pretty soon, so maybe I'll find it there. This is Blue Crown, a Green Glass House Story by Kate Milford. This was another one that was all covered in ants that day that I looked. And, well, there's a bunch of dead ants inside the dust jacket, but I will brush them off before they go in the house. Because, ew. Bad enough that I have a couple ants that are driving me crazy in my bathroom. And I've tried the black pepper trick, and that worked until I cleaned it up, and then they came back. Enter the magical world of Green Glass House in this action-packed tale of the house's first inhabitants. Sovereign city of Nags Peak, 1810. Lucy Bluecrown has grown up on her father's schooner, the Left Hand of Fate. Its crew is her family, and the many ports where it anchors are her home. But now she's being forced to begin a new life ashore with her stepmother and half-brother in a thumping huge house on a high hill above the nearest waterway. Lucy doesn't care that living in a house is safer and supposedly the proper place for a 12-year-old girl. It's boring. She is certain that the only place she'll ever belong is with her father on a ship of war as part of the crew. Then 2 strangers take a malicious interest in her little brother's unusual pyrotechnical skills, and life on land is suddenly far more perilous than at sea. There's more evil and magic in the world than Lucy realized, and it will take all her fighting instincts to keep her family together. So that sounds interesting. And, it's when I looked at that day when everything was ant covered. So I'm glad it's no longer ant covered. And then since that day, well, Blue Crown and Careless Whiskers were the 2 I was going to get then. The 3 by Juno Black, and then this stack were all added since then. And I did see a couple ladies there the other day rooting through the books, and I they must have, I'm guessing, left these. So I have Beatrix Potter's Country Cooking, and I love cookbooks, and I think Beatrix Potter was really fun. Spiced damson and raisin chutney. What's a damson? I will have to find out because there's a lot of stuff with damson. Here's damson gin. Huh. It maybe it's a British name for something that we call something else here. I don't know. Potato and celeriac puree, potato pancake stuffed with mild mushrooms. Ooh, that sounds interesting. It's got some nice pictures and some interesting recipes. Roast duck with apricot sauce. I don't know if I've ever had duck. I like that, like here it says 50 grams of butter or 2 ounces, quarter of a cup. So it does have both, um, UK measurements and US measurements. Devonshire squab pie. Squab's pigeon, isn't it? I think so. Trout, salmon. I probably won't make the salmon because I'm not a big fan of that. Venison, shrimp. Yeah, it looks like it's got some. Oh, it is in the introduction. It's got some of her illustrations. Oh, I love that. Beatrix Potter at a country show in the 1930s with prize-winning sheep. So that's her. Well, that's really neat. I will have to definitely take a closer look. Um, but I love cookbooks and I enjoy Beatrix Potter. So while I'm looking at cookbooks that have to do with Beatrix Potter, we have Peter Rabbit's Natural Foods Cookbook. This cover is washable with damp cloth. Well, that's good. Oh, nice. There's a little note in here from Christmas 2009. Dear Jackie, I think you must know that I love Peter Rabbit and all of his tales. I think I must have given this to you sometime between 2000 and 2005. Enjoy. Love, Lisa. Or Lissa. Oh, and I love it's just full of her illustrations. Samuel Whisker's Roly-Poly Pancakes. Timmy Willie's Sunny Sunday Scrambled Eggs. Squirrel Nutkin's Banana Nut Loaf. Here's some more illustrations. Soups. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail's Fresh Blueberry Cobbler. There they are with their little basket of blueberries. So yeah, I'm loving it so much. It's so cute. But I also have Peter Rabbit's cookery book. Okay, traffic, you don't have to be so loud. Well, let's see, it's just after 6 as people get home from work probably. That was a couple big trucks just went by. So if you're hearing a lot of racket, that's why. Let's see. For a party, we have Pigwig's Conversation Peppermints, Jeremy Fisher's Butterfly Sandwiches, Mrs. Rabbit's Currant Buns, Appley Dapply's Jam Tarts. And we got, of course, Peter Rabbit. Gotta have Peter Rabbit. Another illustration. Before you begin, Mrs. Tittlemouse was a most terribly tidy, particular little mouse. And if you want to be a popular cook who is always welcome in the kitchen, you would be wise to follow her example. Oh, this is so cute. Here's Peter Rabbit salad. Some of these are really detailed illustrations. Hunka Munka's rice pudding. I love rice pudding. Am I showing the picture? It's hard to tell from the back. Anyway, I think that one's cute. Then, well, that's the same picture of her. Huh. I have Beatrix Potter's Gardening Life, the plants and places that inspired the classic children's tales. And I have Beatrix Potter, A Life in Nature. It is the same picture of her. One colorized and one black and white. The Gardening Life one, I just thought the pictures in it were gorgeous. A lot of photographs, a lot of paintings that she did. Here's a good picture of her. Some illustrations. I just saw a painting. Where did it go? Well, here's a sketch. Here she is with her dog. I was offered a puppy today. Unfortunately, I can't have one right now. There's one of the paintings. And then, of course, you know, they've got just photographs of the plants. So I think that's a pretty neat little book. And then this one is more of a biography. In this now classic biography, reissued in a new edition for the 150th anniversary of Beatrix Potter's birth, Linda Lear offers the astonishing portrait of an extraordinary woman who gave us some of the most beloved children's books of all time. Potter found freedom from her conventional Victorian upbringing in the countryside. Nature inspired her imagination as an artist and scientific illustrator. But the tale of Peter Rabbit brought her fame, financial success, and the promise of happiness when she fell in love with her editor, Norman Warren. After his tragic and untimely death, Potter embraced a new life as the owner of Hilltop Farm in the English Lake District and a second chance at happiness. As a visionary landowner, successful farmer, and sheep breeder, she was able to preserve the landscape that had inspired her art. Beatrix Potter, A Life in Nature, reveals a lively, independent, and passionate woman whose art was timeless and whose generosity left an indelible imprint on the countryside. This anniversary edition is complete with a brand new foreword by James Rebanks, the Lake District shepherd and social media sensation who chronicles his world on Twitter and in his wonderful book, The Shepherd's Life. Okay. So I think that'll be interesting. That's a long biography. I like the end pages. that look like pieces of her sketchbook. Just wondering how long. Well, if you don't count the index and bibliography and notes, where's the end of the notes? Okay, 447 pages if you don't count the 100 plus pages of all the notes and stuff. 583, 447. So what, 140-ish pages of notes and stuff? I do think this is going to be interesting. And there are sections of pictures that divide it up. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that one. And my bag is empty. Woo! I had picked up a bookmark at the one little free library and I forgot to stick it in the book. I left it laying on the shelf. What I am currently reading, and this one's from the library, is Ring by Koji Suzuki. If you are familiar with horror movies, you know it as The Ring. In Japan, it's Ringu. And it's the one about if you watch this videotape, you get a phone call and then you die in 7 days. So I've started reading this one. I am on page 20. So that's what I'm up to at the moment as far as reading. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know if I can get the Neko to do a unboxing or not. I was called into work today, so my day off ended up not being a day off. And then we rearranged my schedule for tomorrow so that now I'm working the 8 a.m. shift instead of the 4 p.m. shift, which is good because I traded spots with somebody on Saturday and took the 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. slot because they didn't want to go to the monster trucks on Saturday. And I said I didn't mind doing it. So Saturday I get to go see monster trucks. I've heard nothing but monster trucks for the last month and a half, 2 months, because my client is so excited. And we've been watching them on TV, and now I can kind of pick out some of them, but that's not the group we're seeing. We're not going to Monster Jam, we're going to Renegades. But a couple of the trucks that are going to be there Saturday, we have watched in Monster Jam stuff. So there's that. What else is going on? That's really all I've got. The ice cream place here in Racine's going to reopen, so we're happy about that. They're due to open on the 22nd. I'm not sure when they closed, but they posted like New Year's Day. Excuse me. And then, like last week, we saw a post pop up saying that they were going to reopen on the 22nd. So we're pretty excited about that, or at least I am. They've got really good ice cream and they've got really good donuts. I hope they still have really good donuts. Because the other place I know to get really good donuts is just out of my way. I don't go that direction. I had donuts from there today because the one thrift shop is just down the road from it. So that's the only time I get them is if we're heading that way and the person I'm working with wants to stop. And she's like, I want to get some donuts, and stopped and ran in and got a box of them. She goes, here, have some donuts. I'm like, thank you. They're so good. So there's that. Otherwise, I really don't have anything. Now I'm debating what to do about the Neko because he's driving me crazy by not mowing the grass. I don't charge him rent. He's lucky. A lot of people will charge their kids rent. I don't. All I ask him to do is mow the grass once a week, take the trash out on Mondays, and if there's stuff at the library, pick it up while he's there. I think that's reasonable. But no, I can't get him to do any of it. Well, he'll bring stuff home from the library because he's going there anyway. But I can't get him to do the mowing. And recently, it's only been every other week I can get him to take the trash out. So I don't know what's going on with him. It's driving me crazy. And he just got back from the library a little bit ago. That's why I paused. And I told him to mow the grass, and he didn't. So he just ran in it inside and probably is holed up in his room. I told him I'm not fixing him dinner. If he can't do the simple task I ask, I can't cook for him. He's almost 25 and a half. He should be able to do the bare minimum. Mow the grass and take out the trash. Am I wrong? I mean, he's old enough to be doing something to help out. If he's not working, then he should be helping around the house instead of making messes for me to clean up. Yeah, beep. Oh no, the neighbor keeps beeping. I don't know what they're beeping at. Because I watched them come home and they backed into their driveway and then beep. And I was like, okay. And then they got out, took stuff in the house. Somebody came out of the house and got something out. They went back in. And then here about probably a half hour or so later, beep. I don't know what's going on. Hey, dude at the church who's mowing, come over here and mow. I'm afraid I'm going to have to pay somebody to do it. I've offered the Necco money, but he won't do it. And then he whines about not having any money. I mean, you got somebody offering to pay you. I don't know. All I know is he's making me crazy. And I've got enough stuff at work that makes me crazy. I don't need him making me crazy too. So I'm just gonna chill for now. Fix myself something to eat because it's 6:30. I'm ready for something to eat. We had lunch at like 11 this morning. So it's time for something. I don't know what I'm making though. Maybe just a sandwich. I did buy a loaf of blueberry bread at Bob Evans today. Might have some of that. I'm thinking about having it for breakfast. But anyway, I guess I should clean up out here and get all the stuff taken back in. And I'm sure my neighbors are probably going, why is she talking to her computer for an hour? All right, well, that's all I've got for today. So remember to do all the YouTubey things. Comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell icon to be notified of future uploads to the YouTube Gods Deem It Worthy. And I'll see you in the next video, which is most likely going to be some sort of unboxing. Because we still have 2 snack crates and a Boxu. And I just got notification that the next Boxu has been shipped. I'm never going to get caught up. Stuff is coming faster than I can unbox it. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, it's just been a beautiful day today, and I thought it was nice to get outside and enjoy things for a bit. So I hope you like the change of scenery. Doesn't happen very often. And maybe I'll fix myself a sandwich and sit out here and read a book. At least read a couple more chapters. It won't get done if I don't sit here and read it. So, and I'm going to see and make sure I'm really thinking that I just picked up a second copy of that book. So, if it is a second copy, then I will put it in the stack of stuff to donate. And we'll stick it in a little free library somewhere. I need to put some over here in Racine since I took such a stack of them today. And I'm glad they got the ant problem under control. Because I really did not want to bring home a stack of ant ridden books. And it's such a nice one. I mean, there's a lot of, it seems to be getting a lot of use. Because it's, every time I've looked, it's had a different stack of stuff in it. So maybe I will gather some books and head over there in a little bit and fill it back up. Because I feel bad for taking, let's see, how many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10 books. Did I really take 10 books? I would definitely need to take a stack of books over and fill it back up. If the Neko would have mowed, then he could have gone too, but he didn't mow. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.